everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. My name is Reverend Donna Seraphina, and yesterday I had a client that asked to be connected with some extraterrestrials that she had seen when she was younger. I did request that, but I also requested just to be shown whatever the angels want to show us for any reason. And they showed quite a bit of events that I believe are future-related events. So it's important to remember that the future is not set in stone, although there might be set points that are set in stone. So not to be afraid, hopefully all this doesn't come to pass. Just see this as a potential, but at the same time, I would definitely stock up on water, personally. Anyways, though, I hope you enjoy this reading. And essentially, we're asking the angels to show us what they want to show us, and this is what they showed us.
Hello. Hi, Tammy.
All right.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So, we're asking for any Pleiadians, or we're asking for these ones that visited you when you were younger, or what?
Yes, just any Pleiadian.
Okay. Yeah. It'd be nice if we could get some guidance on what's going on in the world, huh? Yeah, I want to see if whatever the angels want in this way.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, we're looking for guidance about the world, right? Hopefully, that'd be real nice. But just open to whatever the angels want.
Yes, of course.
Okay, let's see. So I'm seeing a wreath, and this wreath is made with holly leaves and the little red berries. And so there'll be a meaning to that. And then they're turning it into the crown of thorns that they show to be on Jesus. But that's not this crown or this headband thing is made of holly leaves and berries. So I feel like there's a symbolism there that we can look up later. And then they're showing me a bridge, and the bridge is an older bridge, made of brick, and so it would probably be, one of these ones they've been showing a lot on TV, but it just kind of came into my mind. And I think a missile hits it or something and blows up. And the thing is, in England, they have that, some kind of river or whatever and a bridge over it or whatever, but those are probably all over Europe. And so, it's a feeling of a stray missile, hitting the wrong place or something like that. And I'm not saying it's all the way to England. It could be in Poland or wherever, one of these countries right around there. It just could be just like the wrong place, or it could, it could always be mining garbage and stuff like that as well. But that's just what I'm seeing. They're showing it to me. Because the reason was the feeling that comes with it is it wasn't intended. Like that was not the intended target. It goes long range. Like it says, long-range missile. I think just because that war stuff, I'm just seeing all these missiles flying out in different directions from Russia. And what's really funny, well, it's not funny, but interesting, is like this missile, and I see that their missiles are just plain metal, dark green, whatever, or green missile. But this missile they show me specifically is painted in red and white stripes. I would be looking for blue stars. Like, I didn't see any blue stars, and so I'm like, what are you trying to say? It's like, a flag of the USA or whatever. And then that makes me wonder if it could be representing the USA, but I don't know. And if it did, but it's not a flag, it's just these red and white stripes. And then if it did represent that, of course it would be representing one probably coming here, but like a missile with your name on it type of thing. That's also scared. And then I'm mostly seeing some sort of strange skull. It's not a human skull. I wonder if they're going into the alien thing. So these aliens, Okay, so these ones are way different. Wonder why they're showing me them. But these ones, I'm gonna have to draw these after. They're trippy looking. They go around where there's dark things have happened and stuff like that. That's weird. So those aren't the ones we want though, but they're showing them to me and I don't have the feeling of them, so it's like they have them in the distance from me. And it's really weird. They're riding around on what looks like big tricycles, giant tricycles. So interesting. They're almost like, not frogs, but their body is rounded. Instead of bending, because they kept showing me leaning for it. Instead of bending, their bodies don't bend. But they have longer legs and arms, and they pedal on these. They look like giant tricycles, leaning forward. They're just driving around. They're not doing anything harming, but they're going in after, like, some place has been blackened by a catastrophe or something like that. Okay, they're still showing them to me, so I'm not saying. They ride around. They ride at like if you were making an S curve. So, let's see. I wonder if they could just clear that and start building something else, because I don't know if they want me to say more about them. And then I'm seeing lips, fish lips. It's really weird. I'm seeing all these cartoonish things. Fish lips, and then, but except for like it would be like a woman's hand is feeding the fish, like you would feed a child, like taking a fork of food and sticking it in the fish's mouth. It's really weird, almost cartoonish. So I got a glimpse of like some ancient, like, I don't know that it's Egypt, but that kind of area of the world, the Mediterranean area. I got a glimpse of like some person that is in the court, one of the courts at like, I really don't know where it is. It could be in a temple or a castle or something. But she's in one of the courts, and she's like a scribe or a studier of the mystical art, or the studier of, attaining God. I don't know if that's you in a different life, or I don't even know if it's me in a different life. It's like I'm watching an actual person, but I'm seeing her from up above, so I don't see her face super clearly. But the priest is giving her some sort of recognition for some work, her work. Honestly, it might be me. But have you ever had the feeling that you were there too?
I don't know. I mean, I don't, that's probably, I don't know.
I don't know either, but it might be me. It might be me in some past life. But it could also apply to you as well. Like, I really don't know. But so they have me there. They have me there closer. It's definitely like it could be ancient Greece or ancient Rome or ancient Egypt or something like one of these places. It's like, I feel like I'm her, but it could be like for you too. It could be like she's you, or we both could have had that kind of life. But it's, anyway, step behind the priest, where the priest down, light comes in, there's a window there. And they're showing me the light in the window. And telling me to like be still and be patient, and then showing me kind of the entrance to like a tunnel, a wormhole, like a tunnel to go in. But then they're showing me these lights that go back and forth from one direction to the other, like spotlights do, but they're going straight out in front, straight ahead, almost in a rhythm, where they could really change the landscape real fast by having some giant war. That's what it feels like. It feels like a way to change the landscape of society almost instantly. I keep seeing cartoons like Alvin the Chipmunk, Alvin the Chipmunk, and they're singing like the three chipmunks. There used to be a cartoon about these chipmunks, and they're singing like they used to sing. Not the song. I'm not hearing the song. It's just it gives me a feeling of people that are singing out like their story, their version of some story, and they just keep doing it over and over. And then I'm seeing, like, if you put your fingers interlocking each other towards the last third knuckle, I'm seeing someone doing that, and it kind of morphs back and forth between a rough framing, which reminds me of the Tylee thing, but and I'm not sure if it's just a pattern, because it's like it goes back and forth, but it could be the pattern of things in a triangle that interlock, or it could be one of the two things I said. And then they're showing me like a blanket and like all these people, and it feels like it makes it, how I'm seeing it is like the city and then all the people are underneath, right? And that obviously they keep showing people underneath the subways. But the way that they're showing to me is real interesting, because there's like it looks like a giant blanket over the entire thing, and then people are holding it up with their backs. And then I'm seeing someone swinging on a swing set, like that's a 3 or 4 year old there, swinging high and just really enjoying it. I'm just gonna go down this wormhole for a while. So I am feeling like going into light a minute, so I'm just gonna wait a second, see if they pull me up in there. Just like it feels like, it's there, so I just wanna wait a minute and see. I just feel the rays. And then I saw like a mushroom shaped thing, and I thought, oh, is that a mushroom cloud? But then no, it looked more like it's a spaceship type of thing with energy, with things coming that would represent the energy to propel it or gravitate it, but you can't see it, but they draw it that way. And that particular spaceship does not look like it's more rounded around the edges than most photos and diagrams and stuff. So now I feel like I'm walking around this hallway it's some sort of exhibit, and it's like, I don't think it's like the Arctic exhibit at SeaWorld, but it's like the same way how you're walking in a hallway and like on the left they have this ice wall, and then on the right it could be the SeaWorld, a SeaWorld reference, or it could be. Is that current in your life right now? Or?
No, when you first said it, I thought I have this recurring dream over and over and over where I was walking up the road of shit. I was walking down, like on the hall, not a hall, but on the walkway, and I was outside and fell over. But when you first said that, that's what I thought of. I fell in the water.
Oh, that could be. And is there anything else I said that somehow you feel relate to?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, possibly in the beginning when you spoke about the future, or whatever. I've always thought I meant to have a church. I don't know if that's, the Atlantean thing though. That's a big deal.
Oh, is that what that was? Atlantean?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll see what else they're still in the middle of it. I just thought, I haven't even let you talk. Yeah, if you relate to anything, feel free to say anything. Or if you're kind of meditating and you start picking up stuff, feel free to say anything, even if it seems like I'm ignoring you. Like, just if you're picking up anything, that's fine. Now I'm seeing a different kind, and I really wonder if this is more like a robot type. It doesn't actually even have feet, but it doesn't seem to need them. It has more like 2 metal legs that go to the ground, and it walks on those without feet. Like you wouldn't think it would balance, but it does. It's kind of like a feeling of or idea of giving your power over to a mechanical object.
Yeah, I've always felt that I've always said that my whole life. I feel like I've been stripped of my powers.
Oh. Okay, they're showing me a tunnel that's like a cave in a way, because I see that a center from the tunnel still I mean, from the, like if a cave, but it was not totally hollow. It had like a center, thing holding it. And it's like, you could go in and go out pretty fast. You don't have to like go way down. But if you veer off to the right, there's another wormhole, and you could go way down there and see what's there. But you don't have to. You can just go in shallowly if you want, like if you wanted to. And so I feel like we should see what's down the wormhole. And then they're showing me like, it's kind of like the moon, but then the sun rays come out of it. It's really interesting. So they're only showing me the right side of this moon. I think like it almost might be divided in half, and then the left side of it's dark. And it's really interesting because behind the moon, you just see like if someone drew a sun, you would just see the hand-drawn sun flashes or rays, whatever, how they draw them, come out. So for some reason the sun is behind the moon, and then the moon is half dark, the left part.
So representing two different sides?
I have no idea. And I know it represents something, but I have no idea. And
right.
so, what?
That's another thing that's always been a big deal. Because I've always said there's two, not necessarily dark and or good or evil or whatever, dark, white. There's two. I know that there's two different sides. I mean, there's two different things in me. That's what I've known that my whole life as well.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. But it definitely is meant to symbolize something. I just might have to, I don't know if it's that or if it's some greater thing, or sometimes, things have multiple meanings, but it's definitely symbolic of something.
I just got chills on my lower leg.
Oh, you did?
Yep. From my thigh, like down to my knee. Past my knee. Just like my knee area, kind of.
Interesting. And what were you thinking the second that you got the chills?
I was just listening to you.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it feels like down this tunnel, it does feel like, okay, I feel like some extraterrestrials, like I could kind of see them. One, while he's standing there, he's holding something like if you held a small blanket that was kind of folded, but you held it over your forearm.
Another blanket?
For somebody, I didn't say leather, but like if you...
No, another blanket. This is the second blanket you mentioned.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, well, this one's folded up, and but it's still hanging over, and it's like an offering, or I don't know if it's an offering. Let me watch more, but more like a gift, or...
Could it be a baby blanket?
I don't know. No, it's not a baby blanket. It has like emblems on it of, they're not astrological, but they definitely look like from whatever planet that person's from, or that entity's from. Not a person, doesn't look like a person at all. It has a large white head. And then, so I'm seeing like a snake coming out of it, a hole. But it's not in the dirt, it's just more like in a pristine laboratory environment. And it's coming out of a hole. And then I'm seeing, it's almost like, I don't know, a country in Africa where they used to put these discs inside their lower bottom tongue to stretch out that area, or for some reason, I don't know. But the person I see is not African. And it went from, and then I'm seeing like the tips of these mountains, like all the way to, where the highest place where those monks go, to there. So it's like first I'm to this African thing, and then I'm all the way instantly to this. It's like the highest place, and it's not the highest place in the world, because I don't think that's what but I'm seeing this place where they're like could be Tibet or anywhere, I don't know, but they're way at the top of the mountain. So, and that's a separate scene than the one that had their thing in their mouth. I feel like saying, but I'm not 100% sure. It's more like a feeling rather than seeing. I feel like saying something that's going to affect people even at those farthest reaches, like that. Again, I got spirit energy about that. And then they're showing me, I think down in I think it's Kashmir Valley, the valley by, you know, that it was a mecca for people in the 60s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing down in there. So I don't know what the purpose of the disc in the mouth is, but these other two are definitely spiritual places. But they still have me there, so there's definitely more about this one they want me to see. So I feel like there's underground, and in this one, I feel like there's underground tunnels, kind of, that, not kind of, but underground tunnels. I mean, that are pretty elaborate, built into the place, and has bricks and things like that. So they go underground. It's really weird. I'm seeing, it's almost like a baby dinosaur, but it's walking upside down. So where you would think something would be walking on the ground, it's walking on the sky, but it's upside down to us. It looks upside down. It's really weird. It moves around. It rotates. And I'm like, is this a spaceship? Is this like some representation of a spaceship? I mean, I'm not sure, but it has a movable tail-like thing. And they showed me already, they showed me like 3 times and I didn't say it. So the way they show the dragons, where they have this thing on their back where it's like these triangles or whatever.
Yeah.
So it has those, and they're not sharp. They're just rounded, but it's specific because they kept like highlighting them. So I said it. And then they're showing me like a large square, and it would be in some sort of building, but it's not round, it's square. The building's square, and there's like a balcony all the way around the top. I mean, in the inside chamber. And someone is really angry, and they're like gonna smash something into there, and so it looks like they're gonna smash a Roman helmet or something. But it's not. I don't know. It kind of morphs and changes, but it's really weird. It's almost like if you had a giant, and he was gonna take and just smash something right into there. And I don't know if it's supposed to be representative of a bomb or if it's supposed to be representative of some forceful entry of something. So it could also be a forceful entry of, and if symbolically what you think of a helmet, then would that be of what should be inside there, which is someone's brain or whatever. So could it be a forcification of ideas, or could it be a bombing something? I'm not sure which, but it definitely has a meaning there. And the meaning relates to, it's really interesting because, I mean, now that it does look pretty clear to be a Roman type, like when you see the drawings of the Roman type helmets that that like have the red stuff sticking up.
Yeah.
Like that. And that, I'm like, well, that's really close to, seems like the kind of area where it felt like I had another life, you know, as a scribe or something like that. Or you did, or we both did, I'm not sure. But it feels pretty close to that area, and so I don't know if that's related or if it's completely separate. I don't know. So they're giving me a feeling, too, of, I feel like saying squeegee and squeegeeing out of there, but then what I see is more kind of shaped like a light bulb, but not with quite such a curve, and you would squish it. You'd squish it, and I think, I don't know if some sort of cleaner would come out. I'm not sure, and it kind of feels like over there where that river, and I don't know if it could be like the river sign, S-E-I-N-E, like, and that bridge, like if one of these concrete with the arches type of bridges, or it could be anywhere in England, but they're showing me that again. And I just felt like saying river sign, but S-E-I-N-E, or and I have a little spirit energy, but it might not be there. And then it was back, about the accidental, like an accidental, missile strike or something like that. Hello?
Hey.
Okay.
Donna, can you find out, if when you talk about the current event, is there any way that you can see something about what's going to happen? Like something, about in the now time, like concrete?
I think that is in the now time.
Yeah.
It feels like they're going to have a missile that goes into the wrong place completely and blows up a bridge that wasn't intended, but it's going to be taken wrong. And that's going to escalate things or something. Okay, so
how about any feelings from over here? Or
what do you mean? What do you mean? Any feelings from over here?
In the U.S., like, is there anything? Can you foresee?
I'm just channeling this. So
yes. Yes.
They know that already.
Okay.
They put through whatever they want to put through,
Right.
But you think, that is what they're showing me. Everything they showed me has meaning to it. Just have to then figure out what it is. Okay, let me see. But what was the thing you wanted to know? Yeah, the current event. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I would say to you is, I believe what they're trying to show me is that they're going to have a wayward missile blow up the wrong bridge somewhere. Okay, that's coming up. So that's what that feels like to me. But I can't say that it is, but that's what it feels like to me. And it could be the river sign, S-E-I-N-E, which is what I just told you. It could be the river sign, but I don't know. I don't know where it is. I just know it looks like it has the arches with the stone, like over there in Europe. But then they showed me a different missile with what appeared to be part of our flag colors right on it. In other words, it's ready and waiting for hitting this country. That's what I just told you. That doesn't mean it's gonna. That doesn't mean the timer's there. That doesn't mean there's a plan to do that. It's more like I have a bullet with your name written on it type of thing.
Wait, yeah.
Okay, so that is current. They're all doing current. But I was trying to get them to do things a little more metaphysical level, but they do seem to be. Everything they're showing me seems to be related or symbolic. And some of these things, like what they're showing, like this wreath. Not a wreath, but it's a headband with a certain kind of weave. There's all symbology in there, but then after the reading, gotta look it up. Okay, so let's see, and then I just see what they should be. Because when they're showing me those one that look like some different, they could be interdimensionals too. I have a feeling those ones that have frog. The why I said they don't look like frogs, but their back of their bodies is similar. It's not like a waist where it bends at the waist. It's the legs, and then so specifically how they lean forward and they go into areas after they've been blackened. They show me blackened, like everything there is killed, dead.
Right.
So it's all current events. It's all current events. And then now they're showing me when you go to a ride at the carnival fair or something, because I was like, I want the light beams. I want the really nice light beams. And then they're showing me all these things, and I'm like, no. So it's like the opposite, because you said, could you show current events? And I'm telling them, I don't want to see current events. I want to go to outer space or whatever. So it's isn't that funny? So we're all pulling on that energy, but they're definitely showing current events. Okay, so what they're showing is something. They started to show it if it's important. I'm seeing a little schoolboy Now this little schoolboy is dressed how probably they were dressed like around the time of World War II. And he has knee highs on, and he has little shorts. So he's so cute, this little outfit. Little shorts the way they used to put the little button-up blouse. And I feel like he's probably somewhere over there in Europe. Like, it's somebody as a little boy, probably. So just let's stay with what they want to show, and then it's pretty cool. But then they move to, okay, so in the field, in the farms where this rotating plow thing turns over the dirt, it feels like that's coming, that's coming and just going to turn over everything in front of it, like. And that's a nice way of saying it, just clawing through and turning over it like that. Rototilling it, but it's like a tractor that does that.
It's a cultivator, I think they call it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It like rototills it completely.
And interestingly enough, they show the little boy standing there watching. And it seems real symbolic because he's not dressed for where he's at. He's not dressed like he would be like a little boy on the farm. It's almost like if you cut out a picture and digital photo editing or something and put it into this scene. But he's watching. So it's a little boy who watches, and he sees this farmer driving this thing and turning over the dirt. And then the farmer jumps down. He does pick up the little boy, but I don't feel like, it's almost like two totally unrelated scenes, and that feel like the interpretation, but it could be a wrong interpretation, would be like some current world leader as a little boy, this person would obviously be then about in their 70s, right? Because if in World War II, that's 65, and then 77. So this person might be around 77 years old, and some kind of leader, and was impacted by, and he could have saw a movie or something, because it's like he's really not in the same scene, even though they put him there, but he sees the farmer. I don't know if he's destroying the crops. I don't know. Like, it almost feels like the person who rode through the crops may have been in an army, right? And they rode that thing through the crops to ruin them, to destroy the food supply for some people that were dependent on that. And, okay, so somehow that experience impacted the road that turned to where he is today.
Maybe it's Putin.
Well, we don't know that's Putin because they didn't show Putin.
Right.
But if anybody hears this, they may know of a leader that tells that story, or the leader themselves, if they heard this, they might know that it was related to them. But I don't know right off the top of my head. I just know what they're showing me. So, and I'm seeing on the other side of like this river irrigation waterway, and then it goes up like on a levee, and I can see all these green fields of fertile land. But right where, it's like if there was a cornfield, but it was all dry, like it turned all gold, and so it had to be destroyed. But over yonder, you can see all this fertile valley. So I don't know if that's Putin. I don't know who that is. I have no idea. And I'm okay. So obviously, I think I said everything about that, but and then they like, if you had a bunch of coins on a piece of cardboard and you all wanted to just form into a place at once. You could just bend up the cardboard and let them all slide into the purse, but it's more like all the fertile land kind of just folds together, and it's just money coming out of that fertile land. I keep seeing another thing. It's a really weird kind of geometric thing. It's almost like if you had a couple warehouses, long warehouses where you're going to like warehouse people, but they're upside down again, kind of like how that dragon is. They're upside down and elevated in the air. There's got to be a meaning to that too, of things that are upside down. And there's a lot of people sticking their arms out. So it doesn't look like there's glass, but they're sticking their arms out of the openings, window opening type things.
So are they like apartments? I mean, like that kind of look?
I think it's more like a prison camp. And it's so crowded that people would be like almost wall to wall, or just like all these bodies squirming together.
Uh-huh.
And now they put it right side up.
What color is it?
They're not showing me. They show me a specific thing. Like if they show me something that's important to them, they'll show it. But I just see what they want me to see. Because they have something they want to say about something, and then it's not about all our little things, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's like a line, this is really interesting. It's almost like how they draw the tail of a devil, cartoon devil, where they have that tail, and then the tail has a little triangle at the end of it. Right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, but this one, he's standing there kind of like at the prison camp, and he's got his devil tail, but he hides it under some kind of, I don't know if it's an octagonal cube, or like I could look it up, but dodecahedron, it's a 3D of all these. It's a geometric shape specifically, so I have to look that up. But it's not a square, even though I call it a cube. It's more like all these different angles, and so all these different angles. And anyway, he hides his devil tail under there. It's real interesting, like very interesting. So, is this thing I don't know if it's a hexagon. Like I'll look up and see what it was, but is it because there's all these facets to this and he's hiding, the devil's hiding his tail under all these facets to these things. Very symbolic. Now I'm seeing Putin in front of my face, but I don't know, because you mentioned him a couple of minutes ago. But so I don't know, but it's just like he's front and center in front of my face, lit up. So it could either be about him. He's kind of amused at something, and he turns to talk to someone who sits to his right and just usually sits maybe a foot or two back from him for some reason. He's past the point of making a commitment. Like he's fully committed and beyond that. Obviously if he's carrying out his plan, but this has been blueprinted out a long time ago. He's actually enjoying it, or he's enjoying some laugh he just has with that guy, and the guy doesn't sit right at the table with him. It's really interesting. It'd be like just to his right, it's a big long conference table, but that guy doesn't sit at the table with him, but the guy sits like within one or two seats, and then but one seat back. That's where the guy sits in relationship to him on some sort of thing. It could be figuratively, it could be their ranking, it could be a literal thing, like when you see things different. I don't know, but they showed me enough times that it's very specific. resolute is a word they put in my mind several times, but the feeling of him, it's just more like he already knows that he can do that or whatever, and he already knows that, and it's all planned. Everything's going according to plan. But then I'm reminded again about this wayward missile thing that might cause a reaction that he because it might go to a different country on accident or something. People might not realize it was an accident or whatever. And then, or,
Yeah.
And he does he is fully prepared, like if say the USA made him mad enough or whatever, he's already fully prepared literally with a missile with our name on it, essentially. Like that's how I interpret the flag thing. I mean the red and white stripes. I didn't see stars on there.
Do you think that the visions that you saw as far as with the aliens or the frogs or the square ones, no feet, do you think that has any correlation with why he's feeling so determined or so he's already it's in his head?
So the ones that I said have backs kind of like frogs, where it's not a waistline, not bending at the waistline. Those are separate than what looks to be more like robotic things.
Right.
I don't think the robotic ones are alive, and the other ones I suspect are some sort of interdimensional creature that might go in that like. Somehow their presence of what they do cleans up the darkness after it's been totally annihilated or something like that. But they're not bad because they're necessary, just like, worms eat earth or whatever.
Is there any correlation or backing with Putin and the interdimensional or alien?
Oh, you mean are they working together? I don't know, but I just want to tell you one more thing. They just show me. To say that every time they've shown me those entities with the backs that are similar to a frog in a way, they show me this area that's totally blackened. And I've said it's totally annihilated, totally that, but every time, and they just showed me again, so they really want me to say this, it's totally blackened, like it's been cremated, literally. Like, even the trees, and almost nothing standing, or if it is, it's like after you burn wood, it's that ashy black, crispy, but it's mostly obliterated, just completely obliterated. And so what was your question?
Just the correlation because of his determination or because his mind is so set, was there any interjection with aliens?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Is he working with, like, reptilians or whatever?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
well, I don't want to answer that, but we'll just wonder that, and not just him, but any world leaders or whatever. Is that what you mean? We'll just wonder that. I'm not going to answer what my opinion is because it's not my opinion, so I'm just trying to get from spirit. But so we'll wonder that, and if they show us that okay, so it doesn't even stay in my mind. It's funny in this state. Whatever I said, and then that's fine. Okay. What we want to know is about this stuff of entities that are not physical working with anybody anywhere to accomplish something or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we wonder that, but again, I'm not going to answer because that's just a lower level of trying to answer stuff. Okay, so they show me an X, and the X is two separate pieces. Like I could see because the lower piece, it's almost like a time sign, and then a division sign. And then like a calculator. And then the feeling I have is it's been going on since they've been learning how to add numbers. That's the feeling I have. Right? that contributed to that. And then I'm just gonna not rest, but just let it go blank because I totally want only from them, not from anything from me. They're showing me a really cool, it looks like some sort of decoration. In a way it looks like coral, but just like when a comet goes through the air with the tails coming off it, it's shaped similar to that, but it's more like stone or real rough stone or coral. Like if the rough stone had super holes in it, like it was in the ocean or something. My core, so it's like a piece of that. And then when I first saw it, it looked like a hole was drilled through it and someone had put in like, say, a magnifying glass, maybe a piece of crystal that was like shaped like a magnifying glass or even a marble, but a super large one, cut like that, just that look where you could see light to the other side. And then just a second ago, they put a visual image of something else. Oh, clock. A clock there, time, representing time. The time is like 7 minutes to 12. And then the clock's morphing a little bit to kind of like this French provincial kind of look. That they were all fancy, but it's morphing kind of into a porcelain clock. A porcelain, but these are ones that sit on a table or in and it's a certain style which I think it's called French provincial. I'm not sure. I could look too, but looks like an antique and it has lots of like wavy stuff and everything. Little swirly directions, little swirly stuff. I feel like same time is running out, but I don't want to be like doom and gloom or whatever. So. But I feel like saying that, and even when I see the 7 minutes to 12, I'm just like, well, 12 must be a marker there, and 7 minutes to 12 is not that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a really huge waterfall. I mean, it is so huge. And I'm looking at it from as if I'm just elevating it in the air above where it goes straight down. But I'm like at the center where it's like I could just be sucked down in by the sheer force and just sucked all the way down, and it just goes down and down and down and down. But it's like Niagara Falls, how it's so huge. But I think it's a little different, but I don't know. Because it could just be symbolic, but it's like this huge waterfall. Could be anywhere. Could be in the Amazon, could be anywhere. And again, I have the feeling like they showed me before, here's this real remote place on Earth again, which it did feel more like, okay, because when I said it could be the Amazon, it was almost like they put in the puzzle piece, like they put it right into the picture. So there it is. And it's like this real remote place, and even they will be affected by something. I don't know if it's a mushroom cloud. I'm not seeing one, but it's like there's a wondering feeling like, well, what? Is there, gonna go off? And then I get a feeling from Putin, like, I don't think, it feels like it's not helpful, all this ratcheting up of tensions. It's kind of like if backed into a corner, I feel like those missiles are going to fly all over the world. That's the feeling of, and it's not an outward feeling. They're giving me the inward feeling of him, like, when if you're cornered into a situation, but it wouldn't be out of fear or anything else. It's just like sheer determination. And that, they show me, relates to, this waterfall in the Amazon and, the farthest place in Africa. And, they showed me probably Tibet or Mongolia or something like that. And then, in the Kashmir region. So it's like, are all these places in south of the hemisphere too? Let me see.
It sounds like it. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I think they are. Oh my God, I got spirit energy on my legs. I think they are. It's Amazon. Wherever. Yeah, Amazon, Africa, in between Turkey and India. I think it's called Kashmir, and
yeah, it is.
And the Mongolia. Yeah. Oh, is Mongolia there though? Is that Northern Hemisphere?
I'm not 100% certain.
But so then that would be the other extreme, because isn't it cold there? I'm not 100% certain either. But so 3 out of them are below the Southern Hemisphere, and then one is, so I think Mongolia or Tibet or whatever, these monks, when they're way high in those mountains, I think those are, I don't know either. I'll have to look. But anyways, it's definitely, there are all these super remote places they're showing me are going to be affected. And they're showing me, like, again, the ones in Kashmir, I think under the temple they might have, like, underground tunnel thing, that opens into a room, like, and it shows me people going into it. So it gives me the feeling of a nuclear something going off strong enough where it's affecting people at the farthest places in the world, like the most remote places, is the idea that they're giving me. And then they're showing me, and it's like nothing is set in stone, right, until it happens usually. Maybe some things are, but okay, but just they gave me that feeling, that thought transfer kind of. But then right as soon as they did that, they stuck this thing which looks like a super long hacksaw blade, and it would be like if there was some sort of rubber cast on my leg, and they just stick it in there and they cut it, and so it comes off. But that is also a support, so the support thing gets cut off. So I'm not 100% sure of the symbology of that. They're showing me, okay, so they're showing me the hacksaw blade again. So I think it's bigger. I think it's like, a few feet long or something like that. Specifically, they're showing me that angle again, similar to like the dragon back where I said he has the triangles. But they're showing me that jagged triangle. So that's not a hacksaw, that's a table saw. But how and that's similar to on the dragon's back. Of course, they're a little sharper. But they're showing me that specific shape is important to something they're trying to show me. And then I see a wolf in the background of the saw blades. There's a wolf, but it's not close. It's in the background there. So it's true. I don't know. It's really, I have to look up it's definitely in the same picture. And it definitely represents something. It's 100% very deliberate, intentional, what they're showing me. And then they have a glass bowl, but it's one of these shallow glass bowls, almost like for washing hands, the sink and stuff like that. And then they show me I think it's the logo for the radiation, the sign for radiation. But they do it in conjunction with the water coming out of the tap.
Interesting. So our water's going to be, well.
I know, I'm like, okay, before I upload this, I'm going to go buy another 20, 30 gallons worth of water.
Right, so Donna, can they tell us, like, or would they show us things that, what we could do? Like, like what should we be?
Well, I think by them showing the water being radiated, you know what you should do.
All right, fine.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
They know what they're doing. Yeah. And right before you said that was funny, because I was like, didn't we want to see about aliens working with people or whatever? And then you said whatever you just said, oh, what should we do? But okay, so they got their own plan, but obviously if the water's radiated, then you probably should stockpile some water. Like, just me seeing this, I'm not making this up. I'm only saying what I'm being shown, not any, in my opinion. I'm keeping my thoughts out of it, but I'm telling you, probably tomorrow morning I'm going to go get about 30 gallons of water or something. You know what I mean? Or as much as I could carry. Although I don't know if it would, hopefully, I don't know if it will do good if, like, the house is blown over from some nuclear blast. But okay, let me see. I'm just seeing that kind. So some areas, you know, would be like the whole mushroom cloud effect thing.
Right.
It feels like some kind of missiles that, like, didn't go all the way but lands in the ocean, but somehow is able to go off and form a cloud anyways. Like maybe when it hits the ocean it blows up, but it blows up above the water, and radiation goes off that and comes in from the coast. And then they're showing me it kind of morphs because I'm like, okay, that's either a target thing or then it looks like it's the center of a spider web, and then it kind of was that a target thing? So it's kind of morphing and changing. I got some chill on my leg. So I think they're trying to show me about a target thing.
The target? No, I didn't.
Well, I got a chill on my leg, so it's like, it's something that, it's kind of back to the Roman theme again. Like, first I was like, oh, is that Del Mar Fairgrounds? I'm sensing horses around me. But then all of a sudden I'm seeing these Roman chariots again. And, the guy, how they used to have that metal thing around their arm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a slave thing or a warrior thing. Like, I don't know, but it's like, okay, that things are usually related to what comes before them, but not always.
Maybe represented region or?
Oh, definitely. I mean, definitely. Like, they've given me references, 3 of which could represent Rome or Italy.
Right.
But I know one of them could represent anywhere in that Mediterranean area. Yeah, this thing's worse than I thought, really. I know. This is all not coming from me. This is all like...
Right.
So I'm seeing steps to go upstairs, but they're the kind of stairs that you can see through each step. Out to what's on the other side, and then they're drawing me to look through each step to make sense of the object on the other side that's being stored under the stairwell. And it's a sense like as each step, go up each step, look at it and see it from a different angle, and then you'll finally figure out like the entire thing or something like that, which seems to me like I think they want to do multiple readings like that, or multiple continuously looking at this to see the whole thing, like that kind of feeling with it. They're showing me moon signs again, and it's interesting this time they're showing me like them going over in an arch, starting with the one where it's 50% dark, and it's like 2, 3, 4. It might be like 9 moons or something like that, like over in an arch. I don't want to push to interpret things because that's where it could be wrong. It makes me wonder if something will go on for that amount of time or will start at that amount of time and then go from there, however many. Because the moons kind of fade off. So it's like they start out, I see the first 3 real clearly, but after that, then they get more and more, so I can't really see them, but I know they're making that arch, so kind of feels like that's indeterminate at this point, how many days, but it's like, so that could be interpreted, obviously, however. And then there's a lot of people, they're kind of like energy people, like spirit people. And then there's a big hole in the ground and they're looking, and they're looking down. Where they're looking down on is like all mountains, like super tall mountain peaks that's like all the top of all these mountains. And they're helping like souls come there. Like they give them, it's interesting, they give them a hand up. They give them a hand up. And then part of me is like feeling like, oh, now I'm in that spaceship, the round one, it's not round, it's not oval, but it's not like two exact curves that either, so I'd have to draw it. I'm trying to ask him, I'm trying to like push the energy there I say, okay, well, what can we do about this situation or whatever? But it's not working to do that. Although it's nice energy that I feel. And then it's like they're showing me this thing, like it would look like, you know, the Jewish candle thing. It's the candle thing, but it doesn't have the upper ones that go up, so I don't think it's necessarily referring to Jewish thing. It's just the idea of like these candles in a row burning. Oh, so maybe lighting candles, in a candle bra, so maybe lighting multiple candles and setting the intention of, like world peace and meditating, and meditating on it. And then they're showing me like a clamshell, but it's sideways. And when it opens up, the pearl's gonna fall on the ground because it was supposed to be put horizontal with the ground, but instead someone put it vertical, and when they open it, then the pearl fell out and went on the floor. That's obviously very symbolic also. This one's going to be like a little puzzle to figure out. They're showing me, I'm like in I don't know if it's an office, but it would be, and it could be in the future because I haven't seen one like this. It's pretty cool. The windows are curved, almost like, say, the top of a pumpkin, how it curves up like that. So the windows in the building curve like that. And the windows in the room. And from the room, you look out and you see all these treetops. It's pretty cool. And it's possible that's inside their ship too, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's what I first thought.
Oh, okay. Because I turned around and I thought, oh, okay, one of them's there to talk to me. Are we in the ship or are we in a building? Like, that was my thought. So it's one of the ones with the big heads again. So I'm going to see what, he's the one, he's similar to the one that had that towel thing. That towel definitely wasn't a baby towel. It has like, it's a real fancy thing that has like a super involved emblem on it. So we're going to sit there and I'm going to he's going to telepathically transcribe to me, or he's got the pad though. That's the weirdest part. He's got the pad and he's waiting for me to explain something. Isn't that strange?
No, it's awesome.
That's a total reversal. I don't know what I could explain. Okay. And then there's like a pouch, like the alien guy in the table has not totally gone away, but then separately but layered on the same scene, so it's layered and separate. It is a pouch, and they're showing me the drawstring, and the pouch is this, I don't know if it's super soft, a leather type material, or just super, super nice. And that also has this emblem, and like, I almost think, okay, I could look a little closer and see if I can show it. And it might be very intricate. It's definitely some sort of geometrical shapes and stuff like that. Well, no, it has a lot of little things on it. That's why it'd be hard to draw. A lot of little teeny things all the way around. That could kind of give an idea. I could kind of sketch kind of what I saw. I don't know what the little dots mean, so a few times he showed me these little dots. I don't know if that's the way they write, or if they represent something for sure, the little dots, the configuration of them. He's just showing more and more, showing details about this emblem thing. Like, okay, so if you put a circle, and then you have the shape that you drew on the inside, and then on the outside. The V's are on the outside, which is interesting because the V's were on the saw and the dinosaur thing, but the V's are on the outside of the circle with the white. So the opposite of what you'd think, it'd be like the tip is touching the circle and the outer part is going to the all the way around.
Just thinking that.
Yeah, and then there's a second ring around it. And then, okay, like those rings might be gold color. It kind of feels like they represent when you send your signal out there. Like, say, maybe it could be their explorers of the universe type thing. Feeling on that part of it, not the whole thing necessarily, but like when you send your signal out, you know, how they would draw sending the signal. It's like a triangle, and it just feels like it might symbolize sending their signal out in exploration. And then the same way a wave curves up with that C curve, and then curls over a little bit.
How many dots were there?
A bunch. They were showing me dots before I called you too. That was real interesting.
Boards or dots?
Dots. Like if you had the triangle that's facing out, and then there's like these little dots. If you had the triangle facing out and then made a smaller triangle, where now the arrow of the secondary triangle is the pointed part is facing out rather than the first part where the two pieces face out. And then the other one that goes, and then the area that's filled up outside of that second inner triangle has a bunch of dots. And then those dots are a meaning of something. They mean something. And there's a lot of them. And then the outer ring, and the outer ring around there. So that's kind of cool to see. Feels like space or exploration. It's like their patch for that or something. So inside this bag that has a drawstring, they're showing me those stones, you know, that you etch those ancient stones and read them, runes or something like that?
Yes.
Okay, so they're showing me something that would be very, very similar to that, with patterns on them. So one pattern is, it's not like the Nazi, bolts. Well, kind of it is in a way, on one of them, but I don't know that it's not like the Nazi people took that from someone else. It had a different, it meant something like the sun, or it meant something, I don't know what it meant. But anyway, so they're showing me that, but they're showing me that it's the original meaning of it before it was hijacked. And I'm getting the feeling blocking of the sun, with that. So, because that's to the issue about ETs working with different people, groups, organizations, whatever. I'm sure different ones do on different levels, but that's my own commentary, and I don't want to stay away from that and just go back to what they should. It's more of the slicing, like if you're slicing cheese into, quarter-inch even pieces. Using precision. Oh, such a simple tool. It's almost like almost every advancement maybe has come from them or something like that. As simple as slicing that cheese. Do you know the little things from the 70s that used to be a little handle?
Yep, I do know.
Yeah. And like even that, so when we ask the question again, well, so are aliens working on humans for any reason? And then they showed me the cheese thing, like even that, I get the feeling, okay, so that was done in conjunction with ET to make that cheese slicer. That's funny. And then what they showed me before when you asked that question was, they showed me simple addition or simple multiplication. Very simple. They keep showing me going into tunnels that lead to like big caves or something like that.
What is it? Tell me what the emblem looked like again.
The emblem in the very center of it has multiple lines too that form a pattern. But the lines are thinner. They're thinner. They're to represent a 3D thing. I don't want to describe that. All the other stuff I already saw. If they show me something new about it. I just, in my mind, wondered to them, well, show me what the average person can do about it. And they actually showed me like an old lady kneeling to the ground and pulling her sweater over her head and making herself as small as she could on the ground. They're showing me another upside down scene. It's like some building or something, and it's like upside down. I'm sitting there wondering to them, like, well, is it really going to come to this where all these horrible, where all these remote regions are affected by what happened? And so that's why I was being quiet. I was just wondering that to them. So they're not changing it. They're not making it wiggle or waver. I feel like I'm down in a hole and I'm looking out the top, like if I was in a kind of like a cave that had a hole in it. I'm looking out at the night sky. I could see trees here, but I'm in a cave. I'm sheltering in a cave, listen to myself. That might put too much meaning onto it just to say. Well, I think I'm gonna reorder some of that iodide stuff. Those pills.
Yep.
I used to have those, but I still do, but that's from like 20 years ago or something. I need to go order some more of those. They're pretty cheap though. You can get them. I think you can even get it at Henry's now. I don't know, but on Amazon, I'm sure you could.
The triangle?
No, this is me. So I'm just saying from what I'm seeing and stuff, I'm going to go order this, but I don't know what shape. I never opened one. I bought them over 20 years ago. I'm just saying, mine are.
Listen, they're maybe representative of the radiation symbol.
Oh yeah, they showed me the radiation symbol above the water.
Yes.
They showed me the water faucet, and then they showed me the radiation symbol just up to the right of it. If you're standing there looking at it, so I don't know if everything could mean something, that's what I'm just trying to say, but if you're standing there looking at the water faucet and you turn it on, and then all of a sudden there's a radiation symbol up on the right, above the right faucet where I turned it on. So radiated water was coming out then. I'm not wanting to see these things. I'm like, show me a good Indian and showing me this. Right. I'll see. Are you still want to keep going?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Oh, they're showing me a puppy. That's so funny. Because I said, show me something good. So they showed me a puppy.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Give them props for that.
Yeah. But then I could pick up the puppy and I could see it looks like Dorothy on the Wizard of Oz, where the house you could see the wind that hits it before anything even hits it is blowing the pieces away or whatever.
Right. No one's intervening.
Right now I'm insisting to them to show me something good and show me some happy ending and show me how it ends good. And so they're showing me nothing. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to have to, it's just what they show me, and I can't reach through. I can sit there and do psychically, but that's way lower than whatever I'm being shown, because I didn't have it, I had no thought of, I wasn't even thinking about water. So I have to let them show me what they want, because clearly when I'm trying to insist, look, I want to see something good, oh yeah, it's all happy ending or whatever, then they're just like, okay, we'll just put you in nice energy and there's not showing me anything. They're kind of, they're showing me that pattern again. This time it's like in an ant farm, and the ants, you know, the little plastic ant farms that people used to get in the 60s.
Yeah.
And, it has that same zigzag shape again, but now it's going up to the, you know, the underground part for the ants. It's going up to there. That's like their little stair tunnel going up. And then I'm seeing where you pull down a shade, and the way they shade, but okay, it goes back and forth between like how a teacher used to pull down that white thing to, if they were going to show a movie in class, like the projector screen. But then first I thought it was like, oh, shade for windows, but then it felt like that, so I'm not sure which 100%, but they're kind of like almost exactly the same in what they do, except for the ones in front of the class have that metal thing on them, which has the like same outline as the stop sign on them. There's 8 sides. 1, 2. Yeah, 8-sided. And it's like, I see the hole to go up to the light again, and it's almost like a feeling of putting up a ladder to go up to it and climbing up to it and looking out. And so someone who's underground climbs up the ladder to like look out to see if it's like safe to go out or something like that. And at that point, things look real nice out there, like kind of like the Garden of Eden. Like there's plants, some plants have grown real nice, and they seem to have a nice energy they're putting off. And then they're showing me some sort of machinery, but you're in the gear part, but you're underneath it. You can see the light through the cracks of that, moving some gears, and I'm aware, but in the part where it's like almost like some kind of control box or whatever, and then they goes up through that, and there's some sort of machine there. I don't really know what it is, but it's really big. But it's like I can see the cracks of light, and I have a feeling of wondering about what it's like out there or something like that.
So all underground, it sounds like.
Yeah, a bunch underground stuff.
Yeah.
A bunch of people going underground, the water having radiation in it, and what other good news? No, I'm kidding.
I know. Yeah.
And about that errant missile. It must be that this missile that goes to the wrong place might trigger something, that triggers something more. You know what I mean? But it feels like Putin's fully prepared to just set off every missile he has if he's backed into a corner.
But it may be a mistake, you said, right? I mean, it may be like it's going to go someplace else he didn't need it to go.
Okay, now we're talking about two separate things. You're talking about the one missile that goes off and hits a bridge. That one missile, yes, was an accident. That incident that will happen or may happen in the future. Like maybe it will happen with China and not Putin. I don't know. But a missile that blows up a bridge. Let's put it that way. So if China comes in and starts taking Taiwan anytime, maybe it's them. Maybe it's not Putin and it's the other guy. Either way, regardless of who sends the missile, it feels like a missile blows up a bridge. It's one of these old stone bridges with arches. And it's an accident. It didn't mean to shoot there, but nobody's going to believe that. Like everyone's up in arms about it or whatever. And then that incident may create a shift that just amplifies everything. And separately from that, then if they show Putin say I get the feeling they're just showing me up in the corner of Russia, but I get the feeling backed into a corner. So that's the feeling that I'm getting. So symbolically of being backed into a corner. He's got missiles aimed all over the world, and he is fully ready and willing to set them off, even if it means like the entire end of the world as we know it or whatever. Like, and it's not a crazy feeling. It's just more resolute. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do and we're going to follow it through, you know. So that's what they're showing me. Of missiles to go into the farthest places all over the earth, like that. Or the missiles are going everywhere. The missiles might not be what goes to the farthest places all over there. The missiles might just go to different countries, but the radiation clouds or something like that, that will affect even the farthest regions of the earth. It will affect every corner of the world is what I'm getting. So hopefully that can be averted. But they're just showing me not good stuff. They're not showing me good stuff. I'm picturing when those light beings picked me on their ship and how amazing and beautiful it was. And it's like what they're showing me is not good. Okay, so there's the man at the table again, at the long table. And I call him a man, but I mean, okay, he's a male, but he's an extraterrestrial and he has a big head. Very large head. And like 2 or 3 times as big as a human's, or at least a couple times. Okay, so what's he doing there? I just want to wait and see. I'm like, are you really shooting? Is shooting in the background? But, like you said, so that's why I was wondering, but he's not turning into him. He has the pad and the pen still.
You gotta keep waiting for you to say something.
He's waiting for me to say something, but then now he seems like he's handing it to me. Oh, it's about drawing those dots. Drawing that dot pattern.
Connecting the dots, write that down. Can you?
No, I'm laying in bed with my eyes closed. Let's see. He's showing me these dot patterns. And then he's showing me that shape again. That's very important. It's like a soft triangle. It's not super pointed again. With a stem. So there's the mushroom. I don't know if it means mushroom cloud or if it's just that shape he's showing me again. Not sure. But he's handing me the paper and the writing implement, which honestly looks something like in between a pen and a pencil, but okay,
Will you write on it?
What?
Are you gonna write on it?
I'm waiting for him. He just gave that to me. I'm just waiting for him to just show me what he wants me. Just waiting. I'm just sitting here. He keeps holding it out to me. It's for me to write these little dots on that I think is their language. I feel like these cuneiform things. Oh, I got spirit in again. Cuneiform. Yeah, I think the extraterrestrials have been working with different people forever. Always. And for a variety of reasons, clearly, if they're teaching math and how to make cheese slicers and every other thing, then obviously at the highest levels they probably are too, but then I'm the one saying that's not coming from anyone, so let me just go back. Okay, I'm seeing water again. I'm seeing this giant waterfall, but this time it looks like there's a dam there. So the waterfall is super huge, but so is the dam. Really huge. And the dam, obviously we know, is meant to control the flow of water. It's the same dam. I think it's in the Amazon again. I've seen really weird. It's like some kind of cartoonish thing, like a cartoon animal wearing a shower cap. Goes on the back of that frog-like thing. It's real strange. I wonder if there'll be like different creatures after all that happens. Like if there's a big massive die-off, then some other creatures start kind of forming or something. Something like that. I'm seeing a round circular thing, so like a donut would be, but it's not a donut at all. It's just like that shape. 2 rings just like it is around the outside of that patch. That represents something, probably completion or completeness, or maybe it represents a wheel. I don't know what it represents. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I see different creatures. Like I see a different, it almost looks like a stingray flying. That could be some sort of weapon that we haven't seen before. It could be like some sort of spaceship. It could just be representative of, again, of different like creatures forming out of all this and stuff. Not sure. Something like that. Do you have any more questions? Because I kind of feel like that's.
No, I'm writing it all down.
Okay.
As much as I could. No, but I think that the dot. Did he give you the pad yet? Did you get the pad? Did you write? Can you go back to that?
Yeah, the configuration of the dots looks like if you put 2 triangles together.
Right.
Like as above, so below, or whatever. But if you put 2 triangles together, there's a lot of dots there. I think that I'll have to sit there and draw that a whole nother time, because it's like, how many of these would I be able to draw? I don't want to sit there and draw them all right now, but there's like, and let me look at these dots. What matters too is how dark you draw the dots, because it represents some kind of 3D thing.
Right.
Because like he shows me some of the dots are drawn darker, and it represents that they're spatially back a little bit. I think it's like representative, because they only show me the one. They're not showing me like a bunch of different ones. And so it might be representative of transcribing, and which, remember earlier at the beginning he was showing me the feeling that like, oh, I feel like I'm in a different lifetime transcribing. And he's showing me about transcribing me, but he's not like doing more than one right now. He's just like drawn that one. It might be on their patch. Oh, it is on their patch as well. Yeah, if you do like 2 triangles and put a triangle, 2 triangles where the square, let me see. If a triangle had 4 points, like it's a pyramid, right? So it's like, it's 3D. A pyramid above and a pyramid below, right? The widest part touching each other. And then, I think they would show it to me clear if I was supposed to exactly say all the dots exactly right now. Like, if they wanted me to, they would show it clear, but it's like, it's clear enough for me to tell what it is, and they'll show me, and then I'm like, okay, let me see it closer so I could write it down. And I just feel like, how I feel is like, sometime I'll go just sit and write the dots, like as they show me the dots or whatever. But that time's not like right now to get up and go do that, because it's like,
Maybe it is.
What?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I mean, maybe it's,
Well, what I'll do after I talk to you is I'll sketch some of the things.
Yeah.
And if I start feeling like I'm supposed to do that, then I'll do that. Okay, so listen, they right when we were talking, they just put another image in my mind, and it's these stairs that curve, and it feels like a castle or something, like, because it's all made of stone. So I don't know that it's a castle. If it is, it would be like an way old one, not like, ooh, I'm at a fancy castle. But anyways, the stairs, they wrap up and they curve around to where you can't see, but all of a sudden the stairs start breaking in half right in the center of them and just like rattling and coming apart. And remember when they showed me the stairs earlier with a different symbology. There's so much symbology in here, I'm going to have to like listen to it and write it all down myself, and then like look stuff up and try to figure out what exactly they're saying.
Yeah, no, I do know.
I think it's like don't go ahead, just wait, because we're going to take you step by step up the stairs where you see the whole picture. Like that's kind of, but see the interpretation is obviously where it could be wrong. Because then another part of me goes, what are you trying to say? Like things are just going to start crumbling, or why are you trying to go up there? Like, you know what I mean? So.
Well, listen, if they want you to wait, like if they want you to wait, or if that's what you're thinking, whatever, then at least that's a good thing. At least it's not expeditious. Like my first thought was, they want you to grab a pen and pencil, and you need to.
Well, then I would hang up. When I hang up, I'm going to sketch some of the things I remember, and then if they want me to do that, they'll impress that on me. Sometimes they wake me up in the middle of the night to do things. I've been woken up many times in the middle of the night, pushed to write something or transcribe something. But so, okay, let me just let this clear and see what, but that's the second stair symbology, so it's like to compare all those. Yeah, and they're showing me like a different world. It has different creatures, but it still has plants. Plants grow. So there's like totally different creatures. Yeah, I think that's all for right now. Yeah, after we talk, then I'll. Is there anything else you want me to try to see while we're still here? Or?
No, just no. I mean, I guess the timing. And there was a clock. Remember the clock? It was the clock thing. It was 12 to 7. You said 7 to 12 or 7 after 12.
7 before 12.
7 before, so 7 minutes before 12. I got to know, like those. You know this way better than I. This is the first time I've really done it like this with you, but just definitely. They're saying something.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, I mean, is this something that we need to, get the puzzle? I'm going to look up, I wrote some things down. I'll look,
I'm planning on putting this on YouTube.
I think you should. I don't think you should wait. That's my whole premise.
Oh, you mean, yeah, I know. I got to draw some sketches and stuff.
Because it's going to be, it will be fruitless if you do it, like afterwards. Just the scribe thing, I think, is, I don't know. It just seems like that they want you to write something, or that's what it seems like. Do you ever do that automatic writing thing?
I've been channeling from entities for years. Yeah.
Well,
So what did you want to know?
Is there anything we can do now, like with the water? Is there anything that we can do now to help us? That's it. Yes, question.
On a personal level, I'm going to have,
on a United States level.
Yeah, when I asked if there was any good outcome, they keep showing me nothing. Every time I say, show me something good, the most they showed me was that puppy. They show me nothing. And I think he was being slightly sarcastic, or like not sarcastic in a mean way, but just a slight sense of humor, or just, oh, you want to see something nice, but every time I've seriously been saying, well, is there anything good? Is there anything good? They show me nothing at all. And then when I release my control and let them show me what they want, they show me pretty much annihilation of a lot of things. Or not necessarily annihilation. They really didn't show me, they showed me what they showed me, okay? They showed me what they showed me. I don't want to add narrative on top of it. Essentially, it's going to affect all corners of the world, clearly.
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some more water in the morning. But, that only lasts so long anyway, but it might be, worse at the beginning of something. So, no, they don't show me Superman coming to the rescue. They're not showing me that. They only show me these really horrible things, and then every time I was like, well, can we do anything, like you said, or then they showed me nothing at all. And then as soon as I said, okay, just show me what you want to show me, then they kept showing me more stuff. Now they're showing me some stairs. And it's literally drawn right up the middle. These are different stairs, though, and one half of the stairs is pure white, one half of the stairs is pure black. But it's the same set of stairs, but it's going upward into the sky or up into nowhere or something like that. Somewhere, but, you know, somewhere in nowhere or whatever. But it's like the stairs going up till you can't see anymore, but 50% of it's pure white, 50% is pure black. But it's still the same stairs. They're still going up there as far as you can see. Do you have any more questions?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to hang up now because I want to just rest and just go to sleep kind of and see if they say anything or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.